everyone, my name is Lindsay Kearns, and for my YouTube project, I did probiotics and inflammatory bowel disease. So to kind of give you a brief overview, I've included two pictures. The first one being of probiotics. So what we'll learn about today is where they're located in the body and what foods contain probiotics. And the next picture is just an image of the human body. And I kind of highlighted where inflammatory bowel disease may affect you if you were to have it. So yeah. So the question we're trying to answer is, can the consumption of probiotics help manage or potentially cure someone suffering from inflammatory bowel disease? So the first thing we need to cover is, what are probiotics? Probiotics are a live bacteria that is referred to as the good or helpful bacteria in our digestive system. You can also find probiotics in the mouth, urinary system, skin, and lungs. And the ideal ratio is 85% good bacteria and 15% bad bacteria. So what foods can you find probiotics in? You can find them in yogurt, tempeh, kimchi, miso, sourdough, and kombucha. And probiotics can also be helpful in other parts of our body, like skin conditions. So if you have eczema, probiotics are great for that. Urinary and vaginal health, preventing allergies and colds, and also oral health. So on this slide, I've included some pictures of where you could find probiotics, like I mentioned before. So we have yogurt, sourdough, kombucha, and miso. So there's actually three common types of probiotics. The first one being lactobacillus, which is the most common and can be found in yogurt and fermented foods. And this strain can help with diarrhea and can also help people who cannot properly digest lactose. The second one being Bifidobacterium, and this one can be found in dairy products, and this can also help ease the symptoms of IBS and other conditions. And the last one can be found in yeast and can help manage diarrhea and other digestive problems. So next we're going to be talking about IBD, which stands for inflammatory bowel disease. And it's actually an umbrella term, and there's two diseases that fall under that. The first one being ulcerative colitis, which is a condition that involves the inflammation and sores that are located along the superficial lining of the large intestine and rectum. The next one is Crohn's disease, and this is the inflammation that occurs in the lining of the digestive tract and could go deeper in the tissues. So you may be wondering what causes inflammatory bowel disease, and it's an unknown cause at the moment. And some say that the combination of bacteria, viruses, and antigens will trigger the body's immune system to produce inflammatory responses in the intestinal tract. There's also been a link to like frequent antibiotic use and inflammatory bowel disease. So next we're going to be talking about the connection between the two. So like I mentioned before, inflammatory bowel disease is often caused by the frequent consumption of antibiotics, and the damage will continue to break down the lining and ruin the ideal ratio that I mentioned before. So it is actually recommended to take probiotics while It is recommended to take probiotics while taking antibiotics to help maintain the balance in the intestinal tract, and probiotics potentially might help minimize inflammation or potential sores that could be created. And ultimately, we need these gut flora to help digest and absorb certain nutrients in our body. So the first study I looked at was the probiotics and inflammatory bowel disease. The goal of the study was to see if probiotics would be able to help someone suffering from colitis or Crohn's disease. They had mentioned that they had also seen some benefits with probiotics, such as cholesterol improvement in lactose digestion, and protection against colon cancer. So this test was done on mice, and there was one control group that did not have probiotics added into their diet, and the other one did have probiotics added. And overall, the group that had probiotics added did see less inflammation compared to those who did not. Overall, the study did show some promising results for those suffering with colitis, and they continue to research this topic. The next study I looked at was living hydrogel can help heal intestinal wounds. And in this study, they looked to see if hydrogel made of E. coli could help someone's intestinal tract affected by inflammatory bowel disease. So the goal of this was to take a patch and place it on the first layer of the intestinal tract. So if there was a sore, the idea is that they'll put this E. coli patch on that sore to help heal it and also prevent it from growing bigger. So this study used mice and gave them a patch 3 different times before they actually received treatment. And from this, they saw faster healing times and less inflammation. So are there any recommendations? While there isn't, I still think adding small doses of probiotics into your diet could be beneficial, and you can do this by consuming kombucha, yogurt, pickles, or tofu, and this could overall just help improve your gut health. And according to an article from the Harvard Medical School, they say that yogurt is the most easiest way to add probiotics into your diet, and you can actually substitute mayo and sour cream and use yogurt instead. So overall, adding small doses of probiotics into your diet could help minimize your risk of inflammatory bowel disease, along with any other digestive problems you may develop. And thank you for listening.